When I was 8 years old, third grade, I got rheumatic fever. I didn't know what it was. I knew I was in the hospital. They said I was going to be there 2 weeks. I noticed the doctors and nurses were listening to my heart a lot. And then they said, after you go home, you have to be on bed rest for 90 days. And I thought, wow, that means I don't have to go back to school. This could be cool. It's not. One thing, though, that was really great, my teacher, Miss Ritchie, she used to send my work home so I'd get caught up. My little brother would bring it home, and I'd do the work, and then he'd take it back. But she also did something was really cool. She had my classmates write letters, get well letters to me. So I thought I'd share a few of them. Dear Jeff, I wish you would come back to school. In spelling, we had the words would, could, couldn't, and a bunch more. I went to the bathroom and the door hit me. Ronnie got a paddling. He got 6 licks. Your friend Tommy. It was in the late 60s, of course. Dear Jeff, I hope you get better today. Debbie still likes you. But I will not tell anyone because she told me not to, and she's my cousin. Hope you get well soon and get back to school. Your friend Patty. Dear Jeff, we had a fight in baseball, and we can no longer play the 4th graders. I'm sad about that, but I guess it's okay. Well, I hope you can get home or get back to school soon, and then we will have fun again. Love, Danny. P.S. I did not mean love. Now, these little mini stories, they really shaped my life. I can't deny it. First off, I really became a student. I wanted to go to school after that. And second thing, I learned that I had friends, and they all missed me. That was amazing. I didn't really realize that. And then the third thing, of course, Debbie liked me. It never worked out. Sorry. There's old Tico. Now, we are all storytellers. We've been doing it for thousands and thousands of years. So it's kind of built into us. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can use stories that really help us out. One way is marketers have figured it out. Budweiser's probably the best. At Christmas time, they get the Clydesdales running through the snow, and they're all just snow. Oh, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Or Super Bowl, they got the Clydesdale that leans over and the little dog, and they touch noses, and those are great stories. They've figured that out. Now, other ways we could do it is staff meetings. How cool would it be if the boss comes in? You got to be there. But they start off with a story. It does a lot of amazing things. It gets everyone on the same page. They're listening to you. And what better way to have everyone listening to you when they're somewhere that they may not want to be. All right? Another one, and we overlook this a lot, an interview, a job interview. About 90% of the time, they're going to ask you that worn out old question, tell us about yourself. You've got no bound. You have no idea. How soon do I start? How late do I start? What do they want to know and all that? Start with a story. Take charge right there, and you're in control because they're listening to you, and they want to hear more. And that really works. My first real job interview, I was trying to get a job as a respiratory therapist over in Owensboro. And so I go in, and we're going along. The boss is kind of laid back about things, and I'm thinking, not too sure I'm really acing this thing. And he says, hey, do you have any hobbies? I said, well, I'm a huge St. Louis Cardinal fan. And he goes, really? We talked Cardinal baseball for the next hour. Well, I mean, we talked about our favorite players. We talked about the Hall of Famers. We talked about Busch Stadium, games we've been to. We just went on and on and on and on. Next day, I got called and I got the job. I'm going to say it's because I was a Cardinal fan, and I thank God he wasn't a Cubs fan. Now, the one question a lot of people wonder is, how do I tell stories? It's not as hard as you would think. Stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And a lot of times that's just natural with the way the stories are put together. It's just natural for you. So you don't have to worry about that so much. But the other thing that people do worry about is they want to be like somebody else. Don't. Be yourself. Be the authentic you that tells the stories. When I give up trying to be the next Jerry Clower, and you youngins will have to Google him, I became a better storyteller. I just know it because I was just me then. And man, it takes a lot of pressure off of you, and you can just, tell it the way it is, the way you feel. The third thing is perfection. Forget about it. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't matter. You can tell the story either which way you want. If you skip something, you can always kind of come around back to it. It's just, I've told a story already that I didn't tell the same way last night when I was practicing right here. It doesn't matter. So forget about it. People get all stressed. Oh, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. You can always go back and start over, and it's going to be fine. Now, another question is, where do you find stories? Well, there's a lot of different places you can find stories. The one that we're all familiar with is what they call our intimate relationships. That's your family. So that's your mom and your dad, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles. It's also your brothers and your sisters. It's cousins. It's your own children. That group right there is really good. Now, for those of you that have children, I think you might realize at some point, one of your children is going to get to the point and you're going to say, they're smarter than me. Maybe they're in their 30s, they've got a career going, their family's going along, everything's really great. Or they're in their early 20s, they're just getting started and you're so excited for them. Mine happened when my son Pete was 3 years old. So his mother has a list, she says. You got to go to the store. This is a Monday night. We don't get paid till Friday. You can't do like you always do and go buy all this other junk. No, it's going to be tight this week. You can only buy what is on this list. Do you understand? Sure, what's on the list? Well, there was bread, milk, eggs, and cereal. Okay, we got that. So I get Pete. We go to the local grocery store. And I put him in the cart. We're getting only what's on the list. It's tempting, but only what's on the list. So we're going back down to the checkout, and we're going down the frozen food item, and there, all of a sudden, we're by the popsicles, and Pete says, Dad, get some popsicles. A teachable moment. Well, son, I think you realize that we have this list. We can only buy what's on the list. And he looks up at me. I can't decide if it was confusion or disappointment, but he says, write it on the list. All right. Here you go, buddy. Got your popsicles. It's on the list. There's also a group that's called well-known. That's your friends that you went to college with or you went to high school with. It's people you work with, your coworkers, people you go to church with. There's lots of good stories there. I used the classmates as an example earlier. But there's all sorts of, and they'll have stories on you, about you. Also, you may not want those told around your kids, but they have those kinds of stories. The third one is a service area. Now, this is someone who provides you a service or you provide a service for them. So your hairdresser, your barber, your favorite waitress at your local eatery that you like to go to, there will be stories there. And you just have to listen. And then you get talking, and next thing you know, they tell you one, and you, oh, that reminds me, and you tell them one back. Now, several years ago, my wife and I and her brother and our kids, we coached Special Olympics basketball. There's nothing better that you can do than coach a Special Olympic team. So we had these 15, 16-year-old guys, and boy, they'd come to practice, they would work real hard, and they just had a blast. And the rule was you had to play 3 games to qualify for state. That was the rule. And I don't know that we knew what we were doing, but we were very successful. We won the state championship 5 years in a row, and it was just so much fun. And we had Robert and David. We had to give them rides. So David would get in the van, and he'd smell like he just smoked a pack of Marlboros. That was the environment he lived in. He couldn't help it, and he had the best smile you could ever see. And then we had Robert, who wanted to be a cowboy, and he wore cowboy boots to practice a lot. So we had to get him some tennis shoes, so we were all good. So one year, we don't have a third game. So we're like, oh, what are we going to do? Well, a church graciously stepped up and invited us to come to their gym, and they would have some young fellows play our team. So this is great. So we get there, and I'm like, uh-oh. They're 12 or 14-year-old boys. I wasn't worried about that. But I had to tell the rules to the 16-year-old official and the 2 coaches who were about 18. I said, okay, you cannot guard us in the backcourt, all right? You cannot guard us when we inbounds the ball. And if we get 5 fouls, we get to shoot free throws. Not 7, it's 5, okay? Yeah, we got it. They demolished us. As soon as we get across the line, they'd steal the ball. They go down. They make layups. They stole passes. They got every rebound there was to get. And we got beat 52-4. We were outmatched. We were not outclassed. I'll just say that. So we get in the van, and we're taking the boys home. And then Robert says, hey, Coach, who won? And David says, the other team won. Robert says, I don't know how. That is the way. I mean, he was there. He played hard, and he was a winner. And I guarantee he was a winner. Now, the one thing, too, I think, and I'm going to challenge you. Start telling stories, and don't wait till tomorrow. Do it tonight. You can do this. One thing, though, you realize that stories build trust. They build empathy. Sometimes they make us laugh. Sometimes they make us cry. But the one thing I think stories always do is they make us love. I think that's why I tell stories a lot. It's my way to show people that I care for them and I love them. Now, in our world today, we could use a lot of love. And I think when my buddy wrote that letter and he said, love Danny, he meant it. Thank you all so much.